Good afternoon, and I'm sure all of us have faced times in our life where we felt like we have faced an obstacle that we just can't overcome. It could be a physical obstacle, it can be a personal obstacle with people, it can be an obstacle of something in our life, and we feel like, how can I overcome this obstacle? Well, the Bible is filled of obstacles, and seeing how Jesus takes that obstacle and makes it an opportunity. Probably one of the greatest stories concerning that, where Jesus took an obstacle and made it an opportunity, was the feeding of the 5,000. And many people say that was probably 10,000 because it was 5,000 men. And anyway, you remember the 5,000, the people come, they come to listen to Jesus. And then Jesus sees them coming. He knows what he's going to do, but he asks Philip, we need to feed these people. And Philip looks around and he sees 5,000 people, men, and probably 10,000 people altogether. And he looks at Jesus and said, you know, if we had 200 days worth of daily wages, 200 denarii, we couldn't feed these people. And besides, where would we get the food for them? All Philip could see were the obstacles, the number of people, their lack of money, the lack of opportunity because there was no place to get food. And yet Jesus saw the opportunity. The opportunity he took. There was a little boy that had 2 fish and 5 bread rolls, basically. And out of those 2 fish and 5 bread rolls, Jesus fed the 5,000. What an amazing miracle. But it's something that speaks to your heart and my heart, because it says that when we see obstacles, Jesus sees opportunities. How many times in your life have you faced something and Jesus did a miracle? He did something great in your life. Remember, the Bible says with God, nothing is impossible. So I don't know what kind of obstacles you are facing, but I do know this, that when we look at it with the eyes of faith upon Jesus, we can see that our obstacles become opportunities for Jesus to work in our life. And he does. You know, it's amazing that times of blessings are great and we enjoy those, but when we face an obstacle and we feel like, what are we going to do? And we take and put our eyes on Jesus and see him overcome that obstacle. That is such a great blessing. I'm reminded of King Jehoshaphat one time when the enemies had surrounded the city of Jerusalem. And he gathered the people together and they fasted. It was an impossible situation. And the king said this, we don't know what to do, Lord, but our eyes are upon you. And when you and I face the obstacles of life, may we realize that the place that we are to have our faith is on Jesus. But our eyes are upon you. And the Lord took that obstacle and he delivered the people of Jerusalem. And likewise, in your life and in my life, whatever is an obstacle may be big to us, but you know what? To God, there is no obstacle that he cannot overcome. There is no obstacle that is not an opportunity for the Lord to work in your life. So instead of seeing the obstacles like Philip does in John chapter 6, we don't have any money, there's no place to get food, have the eyes of Jesus and see the opportunities that the Lord can lay out in your life, because God truly does take the obstacles of our life and turn them into opportunities.